Hello, and welcome back to Bits and Bobs. It is your host, Kira Knightley, and I am so sorry. I did not know that this podcast was funded by a billionaire turf. I'm sorry. What was she doing? Like, I know this is old news by now, but why? Why, Kira? Why not just tell the truth? Like, yes, you did know. You pay an extraordinary team of publicists. You are very wealthy and old to this game, so you knew. It's fine. Just say you wanted to get the bag. That is fine. But no, you decided to lie and patronize everyone, and now I have to pretend the tattoo I have of you is not really of you. So, word to the wise, don't tattoo your heroes. How is everybody doing? I feel great. You know why I feel great? Because I have an upcoming trip to Canada. It's the only thing keeping me going. It really is. There are a few things that are not keeping me going. There are a few things that are trying to be saboteurs in my life. One of them is my skin. My skin is cracked out, always has been. Well, no, actually, it hasn't always has been. That didn't make no sense, but it hasn't always been this way. I first got acne when I was 22, which is just so cruel and sick. But I remember going to the GP and they were like, yeah, that's kind of when it happens for your type. And I was like, okay. So, since the age of 22, it has just been a struggle. But never did I think, certainly not as a child, but definitely not at 22, that I would have two prominent grey hairs. Another struggle in my life. Two prominent grey hairs right at the front of my head, and still be dealing with acne. But here we are. So I just want to shout out to the Duac divas. Where are my Duac divas? I ran out of Duac at the worst possible time to run out of acne cream, and my skin just erupted. So that's sick. I remember though, it did remind me of that time, and I'm convinced that this was a cover up by Big Pharma, but I remember when there was a national, possibly international shortage of Duac. I could not get my prescription filled anywhere. No pharmacies had it. I went all around the city and no one had it. And I think I found when researching, I found one Reddit post being is anyone else finding it hard to find? And I was like, yes. And then nothing else. The doctors wouldn't confirm it. No one would confirm why I couldn't get a hold of Duac, which is literally the only thing that works on my skin. Everything else is far too strong. I remember being on Epiduo. I've tried that twice. One of them was in the aforementioned Duac shortage. And it just fucked my skin up. I was red, patchy, blotchy. It burnt my glasses. It's strong. And then the stronger version of Duac literally does the same. My skin is so sensitive. I see all the girls that just glob stuff on to their face. They just serum after I just wish that was me. I wish I could do that. But I can't. And truly, the first thing I would do if I won the lottery or somehow came into a lot of money would be to hit the dermatologist up. I would go crazy. I would be give me the works, vampire facials, stem cells, whatever you have to do it. Because I want to be clear. I feel when your skin is clear, you can think clear, your life is clear. And that's probably why mine is so chaotic, because my skin is never truly clear, But anyway, back to the Duac shortage. I remember when I couldn't get it anywhere, and I'm begging one of you, someone out there remembers this. And I am pretty sure I cracked the case, and I don't know how that's going to be possible, but I would love if somebody out there in Big Pharma could confirm this for me. But I believe the reason I couldn't get it anywhere is because there was, I can't remember the exact issue, but there was massive kind of delays at the Panama Canal. Anyone know the Panama Canal? I tracked down where Duac was made, which was, I think, California or somewhere on the west coast of the Americas. And obviously, like, its shipping route to Europe and like the rest of the world, well, not the rest of the world, but Europe specifically, would have been through the Panama Canal. And that at this time, at the time of the shortage, there was like massive delays. I can't remember why. I can't remember if it was like politically there was delays or if the canals were like fucked. I can't remember. But I think I cracked it, and no one could confirm or deny, but I know the truth. I know the truth. So if somebody could confirm that truth, that would actually kind of make my day. But yeah, so I ran out of Duac recently, and now, you know, here we are. Just getting back on track, but lots of scarring because I unfortunately am a face picker. It is one of my worst qualities. I wish I could stop. The only thing that stops it is when my skin is clear, like when I don't really have pimples, which isn't helpful. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't really solve anything. But yeah. So that's me. It is ookie kooky spooky season, isn't it? I have this wonderful long mug. You can't really see it, but I bought the Wicked squash, like Robinson squash, that basically has pearl dust in it. You know, that pearlescence dust, which makes all of your squash looks like a fun potion. So that's what I'm doing with my time. Any ASMR for the ASMR girlies? Yum yum. We have finally... Ew, there's like I've got a hair on me. We have finally arrived to Twilight season and good movie season, but Twilight season. I will be talking Twilight later today, obviously. The two greatest passions in my life, the two constants in my life, are Twilight and Jersey Shore. I am nothing without these formative pieces of media. They truly are kind of, they form the core of who I am, which explains a lot about me and kind of alludes to why I have the issues in my life. But you know, they are really, really important to me, and I'm a creature of habit, and I will watch them every year. And this time I get to watch them with someone who's never watched them before, and I've never done that. I'm very excited about it. But I have been to the cinema because they've re-released them in the cinema. Thank you, Jesus. This is not the first time since like the original release that I've seen them in cinemas. I've done a couple marathons over the years at like local, like the Mockingbird in Birmingham, if anybody knows. But not like, it hasn't been released in mainstream theaters since its original run. So yeah, this is exciting. I just saw Twilight this past weekend. I think later I'm going to rank them, you know, so if you're a fan, stick around so you can roast me. I don't know. Well, I do have quite a few items on the agenda. I've had to cut it down because obviously I've not recorded in such a long time because I'm a piece of shit. But I think we'll start off with some Jersey Shore news. I don't know if everyone has seen the latest pictures of Mike. He is no longer under construction, and he's letting everybody know in a big way. A friend sent me these images he'd posted to his Instagram, and he is like somewhere, I assume in New York. Behind him is a billboard of himself, just displaying images of a photo shoot, which I cannot stress enough looks like it's advertising for like a Schmay Schmorn site, like it, like old school too. Like he looks like a 2000s like circuit party gay. It's actually like, it's everything to me. He's so obsessed with himself. And do you know what? While I find that sickening at times, I must commend him because, you know, if you don't love yourself, how the hell are you going to love someone else? But yeah, he is really, really putting it out there that he is back in shape. He has been in shape the whole time. Like, by the way, yeah, he got a little big, but he was always like buff. He always had the muscles, you know, he always had build. Now he's just got like, you know, 0% body fat. So he is looking crazy shredded. I posted these pictures on Reddit because like I went on to the Reddit, Jersey Shore Reddit, to see if anyone had been talking about them. No one had. So I decided to get the conversation rolling. I asked, what is he doing? Highlighted the fact that it looked like he was advertising for men.com. And like no one really picked up on the fact that I was like, look how fruity he's being. Everyone was just like, this guy is cracked out. This guy's on the roids and Ozempic. Like, yeah, obviously. Like, you don't get to that, like, physique without doing, like, roids. I'm not in the lifestyle, so I don't know what, like, gear. I don't know. But, you know. And then people were discussing what the, like, the specific type of steroids they think he was on. So that was eye-opening. But, yeah. God, that man loves himself. Best of luck to him. He's obviously doing this for the show. Like, I don't even think Mike is, like, insane enough to just randomly do this on a Tuesday. You know what I mean? So it's obviously going to be on the next season. Or, not the next season, maybe the second. No, actually, it will be the next season with their filming schedule, won't it? It'll appear, like, a year later, even though we've seen it. So, anywho, there has been something that has completely taken over my life, my headspace. It is 100% a fixation. It's kind of like all I can truly think about. And that is Berghain by Rosalia. That hit me like a ton of bricks. Like I haven't been excited for an album like this in a while. Let's really get into it. Like she is a genius. Like she's an artist. Like she's not just like a singer or a vocalist, which just if we're focusing on that, her vocals are insane. She is masterful with her technique, just purely on vocals. She is outstanding. The tone of her voice, the softness, yet the power that it has, it's something that I've not really heard before. So I've always like just been drawn to her voice naturally. And I believe that she is she is one of very few artists we have on this scale. I think it is very, very rare for someone internationally, like globally, to be this popular, to have this much connection with an audience in terms of scale, and have something that isn't traditionally pop. Like none of her music has been traditionally pop music, even though she is now set, like she sees herself as a pop artist. She sees what she's doing as pop. And I agree in the sense that it does have mass appeal, so it is pop music. But it's not formulaic. It doesn't follow that form. Not that pop really is a genre anymore, like a uniform genre anymore, but there really is something unique and different about it. And I feel a similar way about like Charlie. I think that's something people might not necessarily say about Charlie XCX because she's more obviously pop, right? Like hyper pop, yeah, sure, like more EDM, but she is more obviously pop, so people are less inclined to say that, especially because she's not, you know, a great vocalist. But I think what she does is truly art. Like I think she thinks about things in such a holistic way, and I think Rosalia does the same thing. She just has that real musicality about her, like in her bones. I think Lady Gaga is an artist in that way. Beyonce is an artist in that way. Because it's something that is encapsulative. They think bigger than just music, bigger than just that specific medium and art form. It's a whole holistic approach and production. And they've done things that are quite innovative in their own right with certain projects. Like I'm thinking Lemonade for Beyonce, and well, pick any Lady Gaga project really. But there's something about Rosalia that is different to those. They both of those are like Beyonce and Lady Gaga also have incredible mass appeal, like globally, right? But I feel like there's something about Rosalia that feels different in terms of that global appeal. Like Rosalia seems to reach audiences that I wouldn't necessarily think that, let's say, Lady Gaga or Beyonce reach. Like it's much more, it's those artists, but it's also like the Bjork crowd. It's the classical crowd. It's old and young. It's like there's something about her that has an appeal to people in a way that I don't think many artists do. But yeah, man, Berghain. It's one track and I already feel like this is going to be a really, really impactful album. Like it engulfed me straight away. Like I haven't felt that way in a long time. And I can't separate like the visuals from the music, from the lyrics. Like it's such an encapsulating thing to me. But I think visually and lyrically she speaks in such delicious metaphor. And this track it really is an opera. Like I'm not here to claim like I know opera or listen to opera with any regularity. But, I do know that opera be having acts. And in this very short, I think it's like 2-some-minute track, there are it feels like 3 distinct acts, which is just wild. It's bold. And it doesn't feel disjointed or disconnected. It all feels like the same piece, but each act is distinct. And I mean, she is singing German opera right off the top, which is just so crazy silly. Like how like her voice is impeccable, but it's just such a move, and it moved me in a way that I didn't expect, right? I truly, like, I listen to a lot of Spanish music, Spanish language music, and there's something about it to me that even though I'm not fluent in the language or I don't fully understand everything, there is something about emotions that can be conveyed in a certain way in another language, specifically Spanish. But I believe that maybe Rosalia might understand that and may tap into that because she speaks in 13 languages on these she sings in 13 languages on this album. And I do that, like, I think the German captures an intensity, and I've rarely listened to German music, so this is like a first kind of just exploration of my own thoughts. But there's something about the German that it encapsulates an intensity and a fierceness and a sorrow in a way that perhaps singing in Spanish wouldn't have, or singing in English. Like if you look up the English translation, I don't think it would have that punch that it has in German. I really don't. Like it's so big, grand, impressive. It feels so dramatic, and then the visuals that go along with it, like she's really performing it like an opera. Like that particular verse, she's really performing like an opera, which I find visually quite interesting. But yeah, she then moves on to the Spanish verse, and the metaphor she uses are delicious. It's, it's about, and the song is about like knowing you are attracted to what isn't good for you. And that's a feeling that many people can relate to. But the way she describes it and the metaphors that she uses, like knowing what she is, she has a tenderness for coffee, but she's a sugar cube. And, she understands that the heat melts, you know, melts her away, and but she knows how to disappear. And you know, it's so evocative, the choice of metaphor. It says so much while saying so little, and she really doesn't say much in this song, but it says so much. I just think it's beautifully crafted. I thought the Bjork feature was wonderful. The third act feels like a response from, you know, the other character in this opera. And again, it's 3 words. No, sorry, it's 1 sentence. I can't remember how. Let me count them out. Let's count them out. 7 words. That way, yay! Look at me using my pass equivalent in maths. But yeah, 7 words, 1 sentence, repeated over and over again, sometimes a shortened version of that sentence. And again, it conveys so much. It's astounding. I have, of course, learnt the German, not the opera. There's no way. I would have to spend a considerable amount of time, but I definitely learnt the chorus. I obviously have learnt the Spanish. Come on, piece of piss for me. But yeah, it's so beautiful, and there's a lot of religious. I mean, you can tell just from the cover. There's a lot of religious metaphor, and something about Catholicism and trauma and pain and angst and anguish just really piques my interest. So I was immediately tuned in, but there's beautiful metaphors in the video, and it's shot so beautifully, and oh my God, it's so delicious. There's so much to feast on, and I cannot wait for the rest of the album. Rosalia, you are everything to me. And I can't wait to learn 13 more languages. I think that's going to be fantastic. Or parts of those languages, at least. Okay, speaking of beauty and art, the Vogue World Hollywood Show, baby! Oh my God. I am sorry for screaming into the mic, but that was gorgeous. Like, come on, fashion and film together. Did you make this for me? Not trying to say I'm a fashionista by any means, but I have always enjoyed a show. I'm a big model fan, not like in a gross way. Like, I think because I grew up on America's Next Top Model, I am just really drawn to that world and like know a lot of the models. Or at least I used to keep up a lot more, and specifically with male models because they get a little less love. But yeah, I this was like gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Some standouts for me, of course, number 1, Hunter Schafer. What can't she do? She's one of the most tantalizing humans on this planet, I feel. She obviously stunning, obviously gorgeous, but her walk was delectable. The attitude, she's a performer. Like, she's really a performer. Everything she does, I'm always so interested to watch because she really is. She's someone who embodies characters, and oh, that was gorgeous. The Dune costumes, or should I say Goon? Bianca Balti in the Rebecca Ferguson dress. I turned into Kiki Palmer. Oh, they showed a little bit of it. I am just like, oh my God, she looked stunning. Oh, Lolly in I believe I'm pronouncing that right, in the still suit. Whew. One of the most attractive people on this planet. A. B. Just so cool. Like, everyone that was walking, I'm like, cast them in the film, even if it's an extra role. Cast them. We need to see them in this universe. Oh, the Black Panther costume. So Tiana Taylor, I mean, fantastic, always is. But alongside her, the Okoye, absolutely stunning. And Nicole Kidman in the Rita Hayworth homage. Homage? Damn. In the homage. Whoops. She is just I love to watch women get divorced and break free of the shackles and become anew. But she obviously had a very big divorce a number of years ago now, and really kind of stepped it up that time. And now I feel like the same is coming. She's on the cover of Vogue. She's walking for the Vogue World Show. I'm excited. Speaking of models, top model, everything. This is like so old news now, but if you haven't heard, Tyra Banks has like an ice cream shop in Australia, but it's not like an ice cream. It's like they do something called hot ice cream. Very much old news now, but I had like questions immediately. The first and foremost, like, why is it in Australia? If you were serving something called hot ice cream, A, like, just what is that? B, you think you wouldn't want something hot in one of the hottest places on this planet. So there was a bit of a disconnect marketing wise there for me, but apparently she lives there. Had no idea. With her fiance or married, I don't know. But you know, happy for you. Congratulations. But yeah, I'm really struggling to understand why hot ice cream would be a thing in Australia, if at all. I mean, it kind of sounds delicious. I'm assuming it's essentially a hot chocolate. But yeah, it just seems like a really strange place to be having a hot ice cream store. And also, what does ice cream but make it mama mean? Like, she is one of the most batshit crazy people on this planet, and I love her. Like, America's Next Top Model it ruled my life as a teen. I used to have one of many displays in my childhood bedroom where I'd switch out the girls every year, and like when they were eliminated, I'd take their picture off, and yeah, it was definitely one of my favorites. But obviously, looking back, like the things that she had them do, she's got a very unique mind, hasn't she? Let's just say that. Oh my God, you guys. Jennifer's Body has a confirmed sequel. They're working on a script. Director of last one said she's had a bit of a read. It sounds amazing. I just have something to say. Diablo Cody. I know. I know why you put the kiss in. I do. I know why you put the kiss in the first one. It was like a subversion of Hollywood tropes. Yeah, you were being meta about it. You were trying to beat them at their own game. But you know, as well as I know, as well as practically every queer femme person knows, that scene changed lives. Okay? And I'm going to need you to take it a step further. Okay? It is not enough to have one moment. It will not be enough for there simply to be a kiss. What we are going to need is full on relationship confirmation, okay? I'm shaking my mic. And look, I hear what the youth are saying. They want, a recast. They want Madison Beer and like Sabrina Carpenter, and I get it, or whoever the young ingenues are that you would like to replace the two very much alive and very much still with it, young and attractive original divas. Okay, I get it, but I think if you are going to do that, there is no way you cannot have Megan and Amanda in this film. And if they are in this film, which I hope they are, because that would be the right thing to do, you are going to need to make them copulate. Is the best way I can put this right now. Anything less would be a complete disservice. And I think you know that. If you're being real with yourself, Diablo, I think you know that. So let's do us all a favour, okay? Let's write the script the way it should be written, okay? Give the people what they want. Thank you for listening. I do apologise, but it needed to be done. It needed to be said, and that's that on that, really. Oh my God, really quick. Very important item on the agenda. The Dolly Parton. There were rumours that she was sick. And I was about to say, if anyone knows me, most of you don't. I am obsessed with Dolly Parton? Yes, new Dolly Parton. I'm obsessed. She is something of a grandmother figure to me. I adore that woman. I think she is a delight. She is an international treasure. And most importantly, she's a good, decent person who's written some fantastic songs. And when she departs this world, I too will depart. So she cannot depart this world. And there were rumours that she was sick. I had a mild panic, like just a mild to medium panic. I was like, okay, so she's not immortal. The time has come. Code red, battle stations, let's go. But she then posted a little video confirming that all was fine, saying she ain't dead yet. And that's all well and good, Dolly, but I'm scared. I'm going to need to see you do like a kickflip or something to prove that you're still like with it, because I don't trust it. And if you lie to me, if you're lying and you are actually sicker than you say you are, and then you suddenly go into that good night, I'm not going to be very happy. I'm not going to be best pleased. And I'm going to need you to do a haunting personally to me to apologize. I really am, because I'm not going to be okay, and I'm not going to be able to go on. Thank you. So glad we got that out of the way. Something incredibly important has happened to me. Apologies. I had to get a sip. Because what I'm about to say is just, it's something that I just have to share, and I have a great deal of passion about. And I need you all to be on board with me on this, okay? I need your support at this time on this matter. The matter is Kpop Demon Hunters. I cannot believe I allowed Fortnite to influence me in such a way, but here we are. I had no real idea what this actually was, by the way. When it was released, I thought it was some like animated kids TV show. I saw people posting clips on Twitter. I said, okay, great. Probably not one for me. I'm not generally into K-pop. I'll listen to Blackpink and stuff, but like I'm not like in that world very much. But then Fortnite released the skins, and immediately I was just like, I was hit. I was like blown away by the Slasian energy. Do you know what I mean? Like they were so cunty, and I was like, hold on. Like, these girls are cool. They look cool. What is this actually about? Like, what's going on? I'm like, okay, I'm just going to give what I thought was a TV show. I was like, I'm going to give, a couple, ow, my back, a couple episodes a watch, only to find out, not only is it a film, it is a musical. I was so naive. Like, why would I think I wouldn't be into that generally? But I was blown away. Like, this is a great movie. This is a fantastic movie. The songs were brilliant. It was so sweet, so funny, so emotional. I've not really I haven't been into a Disney film in a long time, like, unless it's Moana, because I have a deep spiritual connection. She sits right here on my arm at all times, as does the heart of Tafiti, Pua and Hey Hey. But yeah, I just haven't really like connected with an animated film um in this way in a long while. It really got me. I was immediately hooked, immediately on board. I just think it's so fantastic that it's like it's a story that didn't seem like it would. I mean, it's called K-pop Demon Hunters. That's not something that just gets made, you know. So I want to commend the people that took the chances to get this made. Maggie Kang, I like just had to Google her name. Terrible of me, but Maggie, like, congratulations, man! Like that is what an achievement, what a story. Sony Animation are like literally bar Spider-Man. I haven't really felt anything about an animated film in a long time, and Spider-Man is A, because it's Spider-Man, come on, but B, that animation, the Sony animation style just kind of blew things out of the water. And again, it's using that studio, so immediately I'm drawn to that style. It's not like dead on Spider-Man, but you can definitely tell. Yeah, I was immediately blown away, and it came about at the time when it started to kind of really have a resurgence, and we became aware of who the singing voices were, and I'm obsessed with those girls. Like EJ, like her story is incredible. Like went through like I think it's like 10 years of training at SM, was dropped. Um, you know, picked herself up by her bootstraps, became uh, bootstraps. Like, who am I, Donald Trump? But you know, like she kind of got herself together, became a songwriter, and then like this project comes along, and here she is in the place that she kind of thought she was going to be, but not in the way that she thought she was going to be. And hearing the things that they thought and said about her voice, like her voice is incredible. It's incredible. She has such a talent. Her range is beautiful. The depth and like, is it timbre? I think the word I'm looking for, but like the timbre of her voice is so beautiful. The tone, and she wrote some incredible music with, I can't remember who the guy was, but these aren't just like little songs. These like aren't just like little kids musical songs. These are like songs. These are like good pop songs. I don't think Golden is the best song, by the way, by any, but I'm great. I understand why it's risen. I understand, and I will stream it and stream it and stream it to defeat the real life Guima Taylor Swift. But I like, I actually listen to these songs. I might not have if I've not seen the movie. I do think it's important to see the film to really get the full picture. But Free is like this generation's No Air. Like, I really truly believe that. Like, it's such a good song. How it's done is probably like my favorite, but this is what it sounds like. Oh my god. So I have to tell you, I did go and see it in theaters this weekend. We me and my friend were like the two, like, only, I think we were the only like just adults by ourselves, no kids in there, so that felt great. I was genuinely terrified. The parents were like looking at us like, what the are these guys doing here? But I was worried that it was going to be like, not worried because I want kids to have fun and enjoy themselves, but like I thought it was going to be like the singing would be overwhelming, but the kids were great. They all kind of like really kept it like reserved until This Is What It Feels. And I thought they were gonna like turn up for Golden, but no, they were turning up for This Is What It Sounds Like. Tears in my eyes. It was so beautiful to hear them sing that. It's a great song. Why am I like choking up? Like, I love this film. Why am I trying to censor my F words? I think it's because I'm thinking about a kids movie, but yeah, I've watched it like 3 times. Won't be the last. I tried to order the pops, but they keep getting delayed, so I'll just get them when they come out. I'm actively fighting off the urge to like get them tattooed, like I really am. But I need Huntrix to. I want Rami. I want Audrey Nunez. Let me see. Audrey Nuna. Sorry, sorry. And EJ. I need them to form a band. I know they probably don't want to. They are their own artists. I have a feeling that Rami would be the most down. But I just need them. Even if Sony won't let them be Huntrix, like, they are just so, there's definitely something there, right? And I think it would kind of be a bit of an FU to like the K-pop machine. Not that that needs to happen, but it is like, this is another way to do K-pop, right? Like this would be I think it would be such a wonderful kind of like cool way for there to exist something outside of that system. I know EJ just put a song out, very beautiful, but I want more stuff together. I really do. I just want them to do stuff together. I love those girls. I love my girls. Mira is my favorite for reasons that I, obviously won't be stating here, but but I love them all. Love them all. Rumi, Zoe, everybody. God bless. What a masterpiece. Okay, it is time to rank Twilight. I'm so excited. I just want to point out before we really get into it, like all of them are so close to me. Like I love all of them. It's like splitting hairs to rank them in an order, and that order changes all the time. Like every time I do this, because I'm a freak and will do this personally for myself, it does change like every few years. And I think that's great. I think that's wonderful. I think it shows where I'm at that time, But yeah, I'm so happy they're in theaters again. I feel like a kid. It's nice to not see them also in a marathon. While that is fun, like doing those marathons is a lot. So, and the older I get, the worse it gets my back. I can't take it. Not that I am old, as we've discussed. I am ageless. Ignore the 2 grey hairs in the front of my forehead. But yeah, I also like, I need to know something. Twilight fans, listen up, Twilight fans. I need to know what age we are. Like, I need people to let me know if there are like Gen Alpha Twilight fans. I do not believe there will be. I very much doubt there will be. But I kind of need to know that the legacy is going on, man. Like, I need to know if you're introducing your kids to Twilight. I need to know if you're introducing your little cousins, your nieces, your nephews, something. I need to know if we're spreading the good word. And if we're not, and if you are somehow Gen Alpha and you come across this and you are interested in Twilight, hello, it's me, Auntie. I will be your spiritual guide on this journey. If you're Gen Z and you've never really gotten into it, we're cousins. I will teach you the way. If you are a millennial and you somehow never got into it, first of all, what the hell is wrong with you? And second of all, we are siblings and I am gonna like just beat your ass until you watch it. And if you're older than that, if you're in an older generation, what the hell are you supposed to be teaching me something? Well, like what are you talking about? But you are Unk, and I can show you. I'll show you the way. I'll spread the good word. But yeah, I need to know. I want to know when you discovered it. Like, what age were you? What generation you are and what age you were. Because I do feel like there are newer fans out there. Like, I think it just, every time it kind of has a little renaissance in it, or renaissance, every time I feel like it gains a new audience. Do you know what I mean? So I really hope that just some Gen Alpha are picking up. And I would love to know like what they think of it. Like, I would love to see how they rip it. That would be cool. Okay. So in the 5th position, we have Eclipse. So this honestly was my number 1 for a while. Like, I remember specifically when I was younger, like something about it was just like the most thrilling to me. I don't know. But it is, when you think about it, it is essentially the Tokyo Drift of the franchise. And that is not a diss to Tokyo Drift. Tokyo Drift is in fact probably my favorite Fast and Furious movie. So, but it definitely is kind of just like, it's the filler queen. You know what I mean? Like, it's there. Again, that's not to say it doesn't give anything. It gives a lot. It does unfortunately have the lesser of 2 Victorias. And I hate to say Bryce Dallas Howard is the lesser of anything. But she's just not quite, I can't even remember the original diva's name, but she's just not quite her. We could have had it all, but Bryce does a brilliant job. She's an absolute psycho, but that wig is unforgivable. The guy who plays Riley Beers, I think his name's my God, I think is, oh, my back. I'm going to have to sit back. Like my back is killing. But the guy who plays Riley Biz, Xavier something, I think his name is, really big fan of him and his gorgeous face. But it has a lot going on, you know. This is the one where Edward and Jacob really fight over Bella, and that is very H-word, I must say. You know, Jacob and Bella finally share a kiss, which I'm sure was a huge win for Team Jacob. But at the original time of watching, I was not Team Jacob. I'm not really. I am still Team Edward. I can't lie. Even though it's wrong, and I have so much more passion for the wolves these days. But I am who I am. But yeah, I think what I like most about this was that it was very Quilliet focused. It was very wolf focused. We got a lot more. I can't sit back like this. It kills me. We got a lot more kind of wolf. We got a lot more kind of wolf legends. We had that bonfire scene, which was really cool. We got new wolves introduced to us. There was that real, again, kind of a really good fight scene between like the new army and the wolves and the Cullens. That was really cool. But yeah, it was just much more wolf centric, and I think I really enjoyed that because it was kind of like they were an afterthought, and I really do wish both the books and the films did focus more on them, because I do think their stories are probably infinitely more interesting than is actually portrayed. But knowing who wrote it and what it was modeled after, I'm not surprised by the lack of attention and detail given to them. But the films do a much better job, I think, of portraying them. And of course, Eclipse is also how we find out how Jasper got his battle scars. So yeah. Okay, number 4 is Breaking Dawn Part 2. It is the slightly lesser of the two parts, the two Breaking Dawns for me. It is like the lesser of the two Breaking Dawns for me, just slightly. And I think that's just because it's focused so much on like the final plot point, which is, you know, the facing the Volturi and all of that it's been building up to. I do love it though. It gave us the classic, you know, you name my daughter after the Loch Ness Monster, like that. It's timeless piece. I really enjoy seeing more of the kind of vampire clans and families and the people that the Cullens have met along the way. I love Noel Fisher as like one of the little Transylvanian vampires. They're so cute. He's so cute. Rami Malek as I think it's Benjamin. Coolest vampire hands down, and his power is crazy. I still get goosebumps when that little cutie pie pounds into the ground and the earth splits. Like, it is just, I love it. I love it so much, and I love him. You know, it's also like what's nice about part 2 is like finally seeing Bella being able to contribute in a real way. Like, her power is really cool too, that like not only is she able to contribute and like kind of look after herself, she's also able to protect everyone after everyone, you know, spent so long trying to protect her, blah blah blah. So I think that's really cool. Michael Sheen as Arrow in this one, it like he's at his most deranged and most unhinged. I still don't think he gets enough praise for his role in this. Like, it is delicious. But yeah, he's absolutely depraved in this one, and I love it. Jane getting her comeuppance is, I mean, of course the whole fight scene is absolutely spine-tingling. It's so cool to watch still. I remember being in the theatre for the first time, and I had not read the books. Do not come for me. It's not my fault. I have dyslexia. I can't read, man. Like, it's really rough. You know, it's also the attention span from the other stuff. You know, it just get off my back. Get off my back. Okay? I also have a small confession to make. I still haven't finished Breaking Dawn. I can't bring myself to do it. I don't truly ever want it to be over, so I will not read past the point of Bella opening her eyes. I just can't do it. But anyway, I hadn't read the books at this point, so I truly didn't know. And everyone in the theatre did such a good job, if they knew, of not giving it away. when the screams in that theater, when I don't know why I'm like, spoilers if you haven't seen it, but when Carlisle's head got ripped off, these screams, I was in tears. I was like, no, I could not believe it. Still to this day, the most electrifying theater experience I have ever had, hands down. Oh, it gives me goosebumps. I'm a huge fan of like the I was I was gonna say by species, but you know, like the half and half, the half human, half vampire Mapuche man from Chile that they find, when he finally comes in to prove that, you know, Renesmee's fine and not going to be a danger. Again, just the things that could be explored would be so fun if they, you know, anything was ever to continue in that way. Charlie finally being let into the world, like the supernatural world of that all of these characters exist in, that he's kind of been on the fringes of for his entire life, but yet so close to. Like, so fulfilling as a conclusion, but also it's that fantastic, it's got that fantastic scene where Jacob transforms in front of him to like to help him understand without saying what is actually happening. And he has that great line of, what is it? I've just watched a kid I've known his entire life turn into a very large dog. It still cracks me up. Okay, number 3. This may shock people, and it wasn't always this way, but just this is how I feel right now, is Twilight. And again, it's not to say I don't love it. It is the one that started it all. It's fantastic. It's a cultural phenomenon. It's endlessly quotable. It's the funniest of all of them. For the wrong reasons, of course. And I don't know if I've just seen it too many times over the years, but it's definitely lost a bit of its punch. It does rank high on the yearning scale, which is, it's big for me. I need the yearning. I need the longing. And it definitely does do that. It has one of the most desperate and H-word kisses I have ever seen on film, but it's beautiful in its like desperation and longing. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's just lost a bit of its punch. But I think it's like comparatively plot wise, like it's kind of comparatively very low stakes. Like it's obviously intense, like the James Hunt thing, like obviously, you know, sucking the venom out, all of that. Like it's very like there's definitely intensity and it's definitely not boring in any sense, but that for Bella, like in the grand scheme of things, is kind of like nothing. It's kind of like a Tuesday night for her. Like that compared to what goes on to happen and the raising of the stakes, this is kind of just like, you know, middle of the row. I will say though, and again, I just saw it this past weekend, so it's still fresh. The scene where Bella walks out on Charlie, forget about it. I like holding back tears. It makes me so sad. It makes me so sad. Like him being like, I just got you back. Oh, stop it. Like I can't stand to see that man sad. It makes me sick. I love Charlie Ston. I love Charlie Swan. If Charlie Swan has no fans, I am dead. So number 2 is Breaking Dawn Part 1. I think this always ranks high for me because it's so high drama. The stakes are so high. It's got tension up the wazoo. Like it's so much happens in this relatively short, I think it's like 2 hours, near 3, I can't remember, but relatively short runtime. So much happens. Like let's just look at a few of the plot points. Marriage, honeymoon on a private island, the first time consummating a marriage to pregnancy pipeline, the pregnancy being a demon baby that is drawing the life out of Bella with every second, the implication of the treaty being broken even though this happened off Quilliat lands. Again, the fetus eating Bella from inside. Like inside out, she is dying. She is a corpse. The back breaking, that haunts me to this day. The spine snapping in two because she literally has the strength of a rotting corpse. Like, the amazing scene where Jacob splits the pack because he decides to, recognize his lineage, and he's the grandson of Ephraim Black. The imprinting, Jacob imprinting on the baby, the war essentially being stopped by the imprinting. Like, this isn't even hitting like half of the plot points. Like, so much happens in this movie. It is a real treat. And we get like a bit of Rosalie background, which is massive. I mean, I kind of hate that we don't really get like a big delve into most of the characters' backgrounds, but hey ho. A complete thrill from top to bottom. Like, absolutely love it. There's not a second where I'm not engaged. Okay, and the number one spot, I don't know how people feel about this. Like, I actually don't know if this will ring true for many people, but the number one spot is, of course, New Moon. Your powers of deduction have led you here. Congratulations. I wouldn't have said that it was my favorite, because I used to find it quite boring, because it's not as action packed as kind of the rest of them are. But as I got older and, I've developed and matured, of course, there's so much about it that I love. There's a couple of points that I've thought about to try and explain why I love it so much. And the first is kind of like the world building. So obviously we get the initial installment, which kind of sets the premise. Like, there may be some werewolves, there are vampires, right? And the Cullens are the good guys, and everyone else, all the other vampires are just kind of like bad guys. And that's kind of what we get. It's light. There's a suggestion of what could be, but this is where we get not just glimpses, but an actual peek into the world in which these characters inhabit. And it's the first real look of the intricacies of both like the vampiric and the Quilliot and Wolf world. And you realize like how vast that universe is, and it obviously, that film really sets the stage for what is to come. It really sets the stage for the kind of overarching storyline of the Volturi being like the most powerful family, and the fact that they desperately want the Cullens and all of that. I mean, meeting the Volturi are so cool to me. Like, there's something about, like, they're an obvious metaphor for the Catholic Church, and again, something about Catholicism just piques my interest for some reason. Like, I said it earlier, but Michael Sheen as Aro, he doesn't get the credit for that role. Like, he is fantastic in that role. It's like this established underworld. They're also refined. It's very like artsy. They're just very cool to me. Elle Fanning as Jane is delectably evil. Like, so, like, love to hate her. Pain it's one of the best line reads. And I'm not being ironic, I really do believe this. Her just saying pain is one of the best line reads I've ever seen. Yeah, she's just perfect for that role. And just like seeing how powerful, like seeing that dynamic, seeing how powerful they are, how refined, how like established, they're like the oldest of the old, and again, just glimpses into the past and the history that they've had. Again, if there was more time to explore that, I really would have liked to. The fight scene in that movie is beautiful. Like, it's really simplistic compared to the other fight scenes, but it's shot in a way that is so it's so visually pleasing. Like, the dynamic of it, the way the movements were captured was really, really gorgeous. When Felix smashes Edward's face into the stairs and you just see that tiny crack appear, it's like a painting. Like, it's gorgeous. And I think that brings me on to my next point, the cinematography, and more so, I guess, the contrast in cinematography from the first installment to this installment. So the first installment has the now iconic like blue filter. The color palette was really like cool, very cool tones. It made things feel really like wintry and dark and edgy and almost horror-esque, right? And New Moon is like, it's a complete tonal shift. It's so warm. Like, the color palette is so warm. And yeah, it's got just all these like yellows and reds, and it's very autumnal. And when I think of Twilight, like when I really think of Twilight, that's what I think of. I feel I feel like it's like autumn and it's like the leaves changing and it's cozy and foresty and woodlandy, and so it really encapsulates it for me. And you know, in spite of the film's themes, which are actually really dark, some of the darkest, it gives the film like this cozy atmosphere. Like I'm thinking of scenes specifically like on the reservation with Jacob. Why is my laptop trying to take off? On the reservation with Jacob, like just the foliage and the housing and everything looks so cozy and warm. Like even though it's like pissing it down all the time, it just looks so inviting. But that like color palette and that warm toning also gives like an air of refinement to the whole thing. Like the whole thing, specifically I'm thinking about scenes like shot in Italy in Volterra, which is like, you know, a real town but not called Volterra. I really need to go there one day. But thinking of scenes shot there, thinking of the Volturi, it feels very refined, almost like a Romance era painting. Like the whole thing feels very classical in that sense. Like it's a painting from that Romance era. It just looks gorgeous. And I think it's, may I say, some of the best, it's like the best any of the three leads have looked. And that's pleasing to me. I think Edward looks stunning. I think the little flecks of gold in his hair are beautiful. I think Bella, you know, Kristen has never looked better. I like Jacob in a wig. I'm just going to say it. I like Jacob in a wig. I like to see native men with long hair. Sue me. Sue me. But I think he looks gorgeous in his wig. So cute. And he looks great. I think he probably technically looks better in other films. Like I feel like maybe he looks better in Eclipse because he's like kind of grown his fringe out because, you know, he was wolfed out for a while and, you know, his hair grew. But like, I just think, yeah, everyone looks really gorgeous in this one, like shot in this style. I think I just touched upon it, but like the themes, yeah, just to name a few: abandonment, longing, yearning, loss, self-schwarm, uninstalling, religion, shame, self-hatred, betrayal. Like I don't want to sound like a depressing bitch, but like this is the shit that I live for. Like I find that so rich. I love when a story is crafted with that woven in, and there can be very fun projects, very fun films, very fun TV shows which have all of that woven in. But when something is dramatic, when something is drama, like these are the things I'm looking for. I'm looking for that kind of a desperate, like this installment, like New Moon, more than any other installment, has like this sense of desperation and aching and longing and yearning in a way that none of the others quite match up to. And that is just, especially to a teenager going like in their first serious relationship, it was like the way I related to it, no one had felt like this. It was just me and Bella, like, right? But even today, like, it really holds up. Like, I love it. It's delectable. I'm using a lot of delicious, delectable. I need new adjectives. I need new adjectives for this episode because this is all I'm leaning on. Like, it's like I have no other vocab right now, but it is delicious to me, devilishly so. I'm just really drawn. I'm really drawn to all of that. And you can't have all of those themes without drama. You know, it lends itself to drama, and this film is so dramatic. It's so intense, and it's so funny. It's also comical because all of the decisions taken in this film are so extreme to the point of comedy. Like, it's so dramatic and intense. Like Bella becoming an adrenaline junkie to conjure visions of Edward. Like, okay, girl, like get a grip, honey. Like cliff jumping and speeding on a bike. Two skills which she doesn't already have. She's like fully like ready to die just to see like an apparition of Edward. So dramatic. the inference that Bella sat in a chair and stared out of her bedroom window for 3 months. Beautiful. Gave rise to the now iconic kind of meme where she rolls around, the camera rolls around her in the chair and it's like November. Jacob like being so desperate for Bella's attention that he's like willing and like fully enabling her doing like potentially life altering stuff, knowing she has no skill and is like the clumsiest human on the planet. Edward completely cutting off all contact, and convincing his entire family to move to God knows where in the middle of the night because he's convinced it's the only way to keep Bella safe. Like, I am so sure that there are steps that you could have taken in between those extremes that would have ensured her safety. And again, this all happened because she got one little cut at a birthday party and Jasper almost risked it all. Like, God forbid. This is going to happen. It's okay. God, he's so dramatic. And then, yeah, Edward thinking he lost Bella. So it's not enough to figure out how to kill himself. Like, just pay some vampires to kill him, right? You know, that's not enough. He has to go to essentially the royal family / the Vatican and convince the king / pope to end his life by revealing himself to a village consisting of mostly women and children. So that's, you know, you couldn't just go die. Like, you couldn't just go end it. You had to go to the extremes than the theater of exposing an entire species just because you thought Bella had passed. So this is why I have unrealistic expectations. Okay, this is why I am the way that I am. I'm convinced these are the reasons. This early influence is the reason that my love life is so whatever right now. But yeah, it's all completely insane, and I love every minute of it. Wouldn't have it any other way. One of my favorite scenes across any of the franchises. One, because I think they both look so gorgeous. I am nothing if not an admirer of beauty, but they both look so gorgeous, but it's so dramatic and intense. And it's when Bella, essentially Alice gets Bella to Italy to convince Edward not to, you know, show himself, to reveal himself. And the only way to do that is to show herself. So they get to Italy. They're not going to make it by car. She has to race against the clock, running through the streets of Volterra to get to Edward in time. And it's all slow-mo, and it's so intense and dramatic. It lives in my mind rent-free. It's so gorgeous and so stupid. I am fully aware that all of this is stupid. But one thing I will not have, folks, is Twilight slander. These are ultimately kids made for teens, movies made for teens. They are going to be a little silly, but the one thing I cannot stand is people critiquing. Am I okay? It's towards the end of the episode, so I'm losing it. But it's people critiquing the acting. I truly think people, not everyone, I'll give you that, not everyone, but I'm going to talk specifically about Rob and Kristen, who are some of the best performers they are some of the best actors of our generation. They have proven that time and time again. That is not up for debate. And I believe they played these characters exactly as they were written. They were believable. They were dramatic. They were intense. I've never seen a chemistry so palpable. I don't want to say never seen, but you know, it's one of the most palpable chemistries on screen. Like, they look physically in pain. I believe the pain. Anytime they are apart or something might happen to one of them, the thing is, it might be stupid. It might be completely ridiculous and, you know, the reactions are blown out, but they are believable. And I want people to remember that. I think their performances are excellent. You cannot doubt the acting from most people. Stop it. From most people in this movie. And these movies. And I won't hear the slander. I was going to talk about Big Brother, but honestly, like, I think I've run out of time. I think it's over. I think it's over for me. All I'm going to say for now is, Caroline, what are you thinking? Yes, you're playing the game, but to what end? Like, really, to what end? I don't know if she thinks she's going to get like some right-wing grifter, like, gigs after this, and maybe she will. In fact, I'm sure she will, but yeah. But more perplexing is how Nancy and Sam have like globbed on to Caroline. Of all people in that house, why Caroline? I can't even say they were manipulated, because yes, she is very manipulative, and I can see how they initially, after the big fallout thing with Jenny, were drawn to her, but like, it's just, yeah, it's revealed them to be not great characters. All I gotta say is Cameron to win, man. Like, I felt that way kind of from the beginning, and I never thought I'd like Cameron. I judged him off the bat, but I really do. I really like Cameron. I think he's a stand-up guy. He's really cute. I would really like to see if he would like to grab dinner when he's out. I would love to be invited to the farm. I think I could. I'm a really fast learner, and I think we could make each other. I think we could make each other very happy, Cameron and I. So, you know, just putting that out there. But yeah, really sweet guy. Just a kind, considerate, intelligent individual, and not to mention funny. Like, he's really funny, actually. So, you know, Cameron to win. I don't really have anybody else. Maybe Richard, but like, I'm just like, he's lovely and everything. I don't love him. I think he's been too embroiled in like that whole drama with Caroline now. Yeah, I'll leave it there, and I'll talk more about it in the next episode, whenever that'll be, right? Right, guys. Thank you so much for listening, time and time again. What a treat it is. What a treat to gab into the camera. Let's hope for more consistency. Not that anyone cares. Not that anyone cares. It's just me and my own expectations that I'm disappointing, and potentially some of you out there, but I really don't think anybody. So it's really just me. But yes, thank you so much. Before I start to self-flagellate, thank you so much for listening, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye. 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 What if I started